Hey, I'm Lil and welcome to Bullet Journal Basics. Over this week I have 7 videos covering what I believe to be the most important aspects of bullet journaling and starting journaling in general. I've been journaling for 4 years and over the past year I've built an entire business based on journaling. I live for journaling, bullet journal is my life. So I really hope you get something from the course this week, and if you haven't already, you can join us on Facebook on the Facebook group The Bujo Cult, which will be linked below. You can find me on Instagram at Bujo Cult. You can subscribe and like the video and do the YouTube things. And I also have an Etsy. I forget about this every time, but I also have an Etsy. I'm very awkward and bad at introductions, so we're just gonna do the thing now. Woo! So my brain is a mess, like a really bad mess. It's possible I have ADHD. My thoughts are like pew 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 pew. I'm embarrassingly forgetful. I've lost huge chunks of my memory, though that could be from trauma, so I struggle to keep on topic and I change my mind constantly. I have all the ideas, but then when it comes to actually putting them into practice, it's like, overwhelm. You know the thing where you walk into a room, like you walk into the kitchen, you're like, wait, why did I walk into here? It's like that, but with like everything. So I am in no way saying that bullet journaling has magically solved this and is some kind of cure for messy brains. Become neat and organized now. That would be amazing. And now, introducing the all-new bullet journal. Do you fail to function to what society deems as normal? Is your brain actually a scrambled egg hooked up to a random word generator? Do you like stickers? Well, now you can fix your brain and have an excuse to buy all the stationery with the new bullet journal. Bullet journals are not responsible for bankruptcy from buying too much stationery. Major reliance on a notebook. Visual cut stickers sold separately. Terms and conditions apply. Did we really need that whole segment for that? Yeah, probably. Okay, cool. I think the first step for bullet journaling with a messy brain is to just embrace your messy brain. It will never function normally, and that is a good thing. And your bullet journal will never look like one of those Pinterestable beautiful plan with me journals you see all over YouTube. And that's a good thing too, because let's face it, if your brain is messy and you have some beautiful, artistic, perfect spreads, you're going to be too scared to use it because you'll feel like you're going to spoil it. And it will give and it will just give you overwhelming fear. If you have a messy brain, aim for a messy journal. Screw perfectionism, fucking bitches. So, a part of my brain mess is that I don't adapt very well. If there's a sudden change in plan, it kind of scrambles my brain and I feel overwhelmed. Or if I end up having to take a day off because of the bipolar, then finding my feet again and trying to get back on track can be really tricky. It makes everything feel impossible all of a sudden because change. So seeing all of my tasks and responsibilities and deadlines and stuff laid out helps me to ground myself and rejig my brain to where it needs to be and get me back on track. Again, this is another reason I stand by messy journals for messy brains. If I'm out of it for a day and things suddenly change, sometimes loads of things need to be like scored out, rearranged, reorganized, reevaluated. And if you have some perfect, neat spread, you don't want to do that to it. You'll feel like you failed just because you have to score through this thing and move it on to the next page. But you haven't failed. You're not a failure just because a journal page is a little bit messy. In fact, by the power vested in me, by me, I declare that a messy journal page is a sign of creativity, in your resilience in the face of adversary, and of your ability to adapt. A messy journal page does not mean that you are a failure. It means that you're making progress and kicking ass. And if you tell yourself any different, I will personally come in there and slap your brain for being a dick to a community member. So another messy brain thing that makes me think that bullet journaling is just really suited to messy brains is that it doesn't restrict you in any way. I don't like restrictions. I'm incredibly stubborn. If you tell me not to do something, I'm 100% more likely to want to do it. I once glued my lip... Fuck. I once glued my lips together with super glue because my mom told me not to do it. And I bet you're thinking like, yeah, but you were a little kid. I was 12. I don't know if that's a sign of stubbornness or stupidity, actually. Fuck. Have you ever done something and been like, oh no? I mean, I would have, but I was like, I had to rip them apart before my mum found out. My mum came in and like, is everything okay? I'm like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So, restrictions. I don't do well with it. So, most planners and diaries want to fuck. So, most planners and diaries want you to stay within set boxes. They want you to answer the set questions and the set spaces. And that's just not how my brain works. Sometimes I need 3 pages for one day because I have all of the notes to make. Sometimes I don't even need a day because I'm sleeping all day. So if I got a planner that was good for like Etsy sellers, that's great. But where do I put the stuff about caring for a giant African land snail? And if I get like a witchy planner, that's great. But where do I plan out all of my Patreon stuff? If I have a planner that's for like content creation, then where do I put like reading journal stuff and TV show trackers? I don't do any of those, but you know what I mean. You get the gist. Messy brain, messy journal. I care about a lot of things, and those things change all of the time, and I need something that can reflect that. Right now I need space for researching Scottish folklore and the Scottish she-fae, because that's where I'm at. Next week I'll probably be plotting out what I want to do with the podcasts. The week after that, be something else, I don't know. And a bullet journal lets me do that. It gives me just enough structure that I can be organised, but enough freedom that I can organise what I want to. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm sorry if this is a really short video this time. I don't really have all of the words to say all of this stuff, I don't think. But I see so many people all of the time who don't start bullet journaling or are put off by the idea of bullet journaling because they think it has to be this beautiful, structured, minimalist or wonderfully embellished thing. And it's like, no, it can be whatever you want it to be, and it can be whatever is most useful for you. And for a lot of people, we don't function well in those little set spaces and this beautiful layout and all this kind of stuff. We need the chaos. When you're at art college and stuff, one of the first things that you're encouraged to do is to wreck your sketchbook a wee bit, because that way you use it. If you feel like it's this beautiful, pristine sketchbook, you won't pour paint over it and slap some ink on it and stuff like that. Probably massively depends what you're doing in art college. One of the first things I used to do when I got my hands on sketchbooks in college was to just take like a roller and some paint and just chuck some paint on a couple of pages. So yeah, messy brains unite, embrace the mess, and let it work for you. If you spend all of your time fighting against your own messy chaos, you're just telling yourself that you're wrong and you're failing all of the time, when actually you're probably doing it perfectly. And if you're wasting all of your time telling yourself you're wrong, you're not giving yourself time to do cool stuff. So embrace the mess. Just let some of the mess from your brain tumble out into your journal to free up a little bit of space for thinkings. Thinkings are the good. Thinkings would have been the good before gluing my fucking lips together. Actually, I bet there's a lot of people who wish I'd do that again. So I really hope this video has been useful for you. Again, you can find our Facebook group on Facebook. It'll be linked. So will Instagram. So will my Etsy shop. Yeah, I'm not very good at intros. I'm also not very good at outros. So I'm gonna say bye. Bye. This is what I mean about the outro thing, okay? This is why I've made the outro me saying I'm not good at outros, because I'm just genuinely not good at outros. Bye.